As previously mentioned by Jacob, acid rain is caused by the sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen oxide in rain or precipitation. And quite obviously, the simple solution is to stop emitting these two substances into the atmosphere. However, this is much easier said than done. I'm here to explain to you how this world is taking steps and how this world has already taken steps to reduce acid rain. To start off, I'm going to tell you how you can stop acid rain. To prevent acid rain, you can use energy efficient appliances, replace old, less energy efficient appliances with newer, more efficient ones, carpool, or even better, use a hybrid car. Don't leave any electronics on if you're not going to be using them, and try to limit the amount of air conditioning you use. Society in general is taking steps to reduce acid rain with both long-term and short-term solutions. An example of a short-term solution would be what they're doing in lakes in Sweden right now. In Sweden, they're adding slacked lime to their lakes. And what that does, it neutralizes the acid so that the rest of the wildlife can return to its normal state of living. Slacked lime can be dissolved in water and has a high level of alkali, which is a substance that neutralizes the acidity in the water. However, this is a very costly solution, as you can imagine. So this is what calcium hydroxide looks like, or more commonly known under the name of slacked lime. As previously mentioned, acid rain is partially caused by the nitrogen oxide released into the atmosphere. The catalytic converter converts the harmful gases like nitrogen oxides to less harmful gases such as water, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and oxygen, as we can see in the photo. The converter works by first trapping the oxygen, and just like when you blow on embers, they glow harder and become warmer. Then the oxygen heats up the converter. It burns the harmful gases and turns them into less harmful ones. So it's basically in a way a filter. Most cars have a catalytic converter. In fact, some cars have 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 catalytic converters. By doing this, it reduces acid rain, and the USA, for example, has been requiring cars to have this device for over 20 years. This is what a catalytic converter looks like. I'm sure you've seen it if ever you've seen under a car, and as you can see, it's right next to the exhaust pipe. So that was the catalytic converter from the outside, and here it is from the outside again, but now we can see some of the inside, and I'm not sure if you can see with this picture, but it's a honeycomb shape inside of the catalytic converter. There are also cars that consume less fuel in general, such as hybrid cars. Hybrid cars use many technologies to reduce the emission of harmful gases. Some of these technologies are some like regenerative braking. Regenerative braking is simply harnessing energy. Usually, when you step on the brake pedal, the energy is just wasted. However, hybrid cars work by, instead of using friction to slow down, it will simply put the electric motor into reverse, causing the vehicle to slow down or stop. From here, the energy will be transmitted to the motor, which also functions as a generator, then goes back to the battery. Hybrid cars also assist the normal motor while accelerating, going uphill, and other times when the engine is not as efficient. In some cases, the battery will be the only source of energy. The last technology is the automatic start and the automatic shut-off technology. This technology allows the vehicle to automatically stop when at a stoplight, for example. Then, when you put your foot on the accelerator, the car instantly starts up again. Although this is not what defines a hybrid car, and certain non-hybrid cars have this feature, most hybrid cars include this technology. Coal plants are another one of the main reasons for acid rain. In fact, they're the leading source of sulfur dioxide, a substance that creates acid rain. The average uncontrolled coal plant emits 14,000 tons of sulfur dioxide per year. However, with new technologies, it is easier to reduce the emission of this substance. For example, coal plants are now using coal that have less sulfur dioxide in them. They're also using technologies such as scrubbers. Scrubbers are one of the devices that can be found in smokestacks that help reduce the emission of harmful products like the ones that can cause acid rain. In fact, they can reduce the amount of sulfur dioxide emitted by up to 97%. There are two types of scrubbers: dry scrubbers and wet scrubbers. The wet scrubber works by first adding vapor to the harmful gases, which cleans the gas. However, now the water is filled with harmful gases, so it goes through several steps of filtering. Dry scrubbers, on the other hand, work by adding a fine slurry of particles to clump up all the harmful substances. Then it goes through a filter, since originally the harmful substances would not have been big enough to be caught by a filter. This can be compared to the products that we put in our pool. It takes all the dirty particles and clumps them to bigger particles so that the filter can catch them. Coal plants are also starting to reduce acid rain by using coal that contains less sulfur dioxide. The coal with the lower amount of sulfur dioxide can reduce sulfur dioxide emissions by up to 85%. In the United States, for example, the coal on the East Coast contains much more sulfur dioxide than the coal on the West Coast. In fact, in the East Coast, up to 10% of the coal's weight is sulfur dioxide, while it's only 2% on the West Coast. Coal with low amounts of sulfur dioxide is called subbituminous coal. However, this coal is also much more expensive. Technologies like these have resulted in a 40% decrease of nitrogen oxide emissions since 1980 and a 40% decrease of sulfur dioxide emissions since 1990. However, these solutions also prove to be costly, costing both the power companies and the consumers up to $2 billion a year. But if you think this is bad, think again. Acid rain has destroyed over $1 billion worth of damage in Canada alone and is destroying the Great Lakes and the eastern forests.